Hi there, it's Alyssa from Domestic Heights. So I'm gonna show you how to assemble this paper flower here. And I have all the pre-cut out parts here. There's not that many with this particular paper flower. And we're gonna first just start with the stamen piece. And I'm gonna use a hot glue gun for the purposes of this video because it dries a little bit faster, but this does require some finagling with your fingertips, which tends to get burned when working with hot glue. So if you're doing this at home and you're not in a time crunch, I suggest using a different type of glue, maybe a polymer-based glue like tacky glue. Okay, so we're gonna start with the stamen piece. This part is pretty straightforward. You just wanna roll the center in a tight roll. And then secure the end with a little bit of glue. Okay. Give that a second and put it off to the side. And then we're gonna make the inner petals here. So there's two layers. One, the petal is slightly longer than the other, and we're gonna do the longer petal one first. So this we're just going to, we're gonna glue this into a bulb first. And before I do that, I'm gonna just quickly curl the petals with a scraping device. If you don't have a dedicated scraper, you can use a ruler or even scissors or a credit card. Okay, so I'm gonna start with that. Apply a little bit of glue, or maybe a lot of glue. And just give it a second. Okay, I think we're good on that side, yeah. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Hold it there for a second. Okay, now we're going to glue this to the base. So in this particular template, I've created a little hole here at the base of these petal layers, and the purpose of this hole is so that you can string or put a floral stem wire there. Now, to be able to do that, you have to make sure the hole is still aligned. So to do that, we're just gonna apply a tiny bit of glue, and then we're gonna quickly put this on top such that the hole is aligned. There we go. Now we're gonna flip it back, and then we're gonna glue these outer petals. So what I'm doing now is just curling those outer petals because I forgot to before gluing the base on, but that's okay. Things happen. All right, so to glue this, I'm gonna start with one side. And just sort of hold that in place. Okay. And apply a little bit more glue on the inside of the next petal and just hold it in place. Same thing. I hate these little strings when you're using hot glue, but okay. One last petal. That's hot. All right. Okay, so now we're going to put the last layer of petals on, which is goes right here. Actually, no, sorry. This last part is a little bit tricky. So So what we're gonna do here is, if you look at this petal, there's a small bottleneck right before it gets to the center. And what we wanna do is glue this part where it starts to widen a little bit right after the bottleneck. And that's the part we want to glue together. And so this part's optional. You don't have to do this part. Oops. You don't have to do this part, but I'm just gonna curl that part in ever so slightly with a quilling tool. If you don't have a quilling tool, that's okay. You can just kind of fold it in ever so slightly with your nails. And this way it has just a little bit more coverage and also more surface area to do the gluing. Okay. You can curl the petals ahead of time, but for this part, I found I like curling it at the end because then I can see it positioned next to the center petals. Okay, so now we're ready to glue, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue right there, get it started. Sorry about that, my hot glue gun doesn't seem to want to, stand up. Okay, now I'm gonna flip it over and sort of glue it on the inside so you don't actually see the glue. There we go. Okay. So that right there is all settled. So now we're just gonna take our floral wire, string this inwards, feed it through this other end, and we're just gonna create a tiny little bend so that it hooks in. There we go. So there's, at this point, we're gonna insert this stamina piece, and to do that, okay, and then we're gonna stick this in, sort of have it touch the base somewhere so the glue sticks. Okay, so you could either pull the floral stem all the way up so that it's taut, or you can sort of hot glue the petals in place, which I don't actually like to do. I think it's kind of cute just as is. And then from here, once it's in position, you can sort of gently curl the petals as you see fit. That's it.